Where does Warren Buffett have it wrong?
Well, I think ultimately at the end of the day, when we look at these technologies, we see the technology writ large, blockchain, as being tremendously valuable. It's not that any single cryptocurrency will necessarily win or lose. And we see people like Jamie Dimon making bets on that all the time. But when we see the technology as blockchain, these distributed systems, distributed ledgers working, we see tremendous potential across all industries, whether that's photography with Kodak coin, health records, anything else as being where a lot of value can be derived. So I think what Warren Buffett said, it's something he doesn't understand, and that's totally fine. There's a lot of technology here that's very new.
Okay.
Bitcoin's only been around for a few years, and we're seeing a lot of innovation in the last couple of years.
But blockchain's been around for about a decade, Andy, and we haven't done a whole lot with it so far. That said, how about this? A lot of people have questions. What is the biggest single misconception you hear about Bitcoin and or blockchain?
I think the biggest misconception about Bitcoin is that it's going to be used as a really effective currency for transactions every single day. We see Bitcoin much more as a store of value, something like a digital gold. And that's where the value for Bitcoin is being derived from. There are other cryptocurrencies that will be used much more like currencies, but Bitcoin's very different. And at CoinList, where we host the best initial coin offerings for a lot of these new tokens, we're seeing a lot of the value from these currencies and also from the technologies that will allow transactions on new distributed networks.
And you just brought up a really interesting point, because I've been hearing that increasingly, this idea of comparing Bitcoin and other types of cryptocurrencies to digital gold and sort of trading it as such. Where is the value? It seems like value is in the eye of the beholder. What would you link the value to? Is it the blockchain technology itself?
For Bitcoin, yeah, we look at it very similarly to how you'd value gold. The value of gold doesn't come from its inherent value and its usage for specific applications, but rather in the trust that people have put into it as a store of value. Bitcoin has some really interesting properties that are better than gold. It's immutable. Once transactions happen, they can't be taken back. There's a public ledger that's auditable of all transactions that are happening on the network. It can be transacted instantly across borders or anywhere around the world. And so these are some of the things that we think make it better than gold as a store of value. And we see it slowly taking over gold's use case as a store of value there.
Better than gold, but it doesn't look as good on a necklace, does it, or earrings?
It certainly does not.
I wonder what your impression is when you see a company like Eastman Kodak. I wonder how much higher its stock would be if they changed their name from Eastman to Blockchain Kodak, number one. But what is your impression of these companies when they affiliate themselves with Bitcoin or blockchain technology and their stock goes up 70% in a day? Does that make you want to buy that stock? Does it make you want to run away from it? What do you think?
It absolutely has to be evaluated on a case-by-case basis, and that's something we do a lot here at CoinList, is evaluate these new cryptocurrencies and see where the value is being created. There is a lot of noise in the space and a lot of cryptocurrencies being created without any real use case, without any real innovation or technology, and those you should run as far away from as you can, and we've seen a lot of that with these companies, as you alluded to, renaming and just saying they're working with blockchain.
When you say without any real use case, it reminds me of the 1999 era where there was no real profit either, and that's why those companies, many of them, went away.
Yeah,
exactly.
Andy, earlier today, Goldman Sachs out with a really interesting note that said something we don't hear a lot, because normally we hear blockchain and Bitcoin together, right? Like peanut butter and chocolate. However, Goldman Sachs implied that if blockchain wins, which they think it will hurt Bitcoin, because it will make other monetary processes more valuable and more expensive. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that goes back to the question of Bitcoin as a store of value versus a currency. If Bitcoin were being used as a currency, there are absolutely other cryptocurrencies that are better than Bitcoin at that specific use case. And if blockchain succeeded, we'd expect to see some of those succeed and expect to see that hurt Bitcoin. But we haven't seen a lot of cryptocurrencies with as impressive usage as a store of value. And so I see Bitcoin continuing to succeed, even in spite of and aided by blockchain continuing to succeed as well. But certainly as blockchain succeeds, we'll see a lot more competition among different cryptocurrencies and see different ones start to rise, start to fall, just like we see with any other technology.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.